Hi everyone, it's Angel and Bonnet here. Today we have a very special guest with us. She is a children's author of a brand new book. She is going to tell us all about this book today. Welcome to my podcast, Tara Cavosie. Have I said that right?
Yes, you have. Hi, Angel. Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here.
That's okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. Right. So tell me about your amazing new book.
Oh, thank you. So I have just launched my very first children's book series entitled Blair's Unruly Hair, A Curly Girl Tale. And it's just been so exciting. I just launched a few days ago, and the response to this book has been so overwhelming. Honestly, I'm just so thrilled and humbled with the response from everybody.
Brilliant, nice. Right, so what inspired you to write this book?
Oh, so many things inspired me to write this book. Honestly, I am a lifelong curly girl, and I have had, curly hair angst since day one. As a kid, I was always teased about my hair, and, people called it a rat's nest and all kinds of crazy things. I know, it was awful. And, we're talking the 70s, and there were no products, no curl care education, so your hair just kind of was what it was. And there was no help. It was tough. And, any curly girl knows the kind of struggle that you go through trying to figure it all out. And, and that was like my childhood. And then when I was in middle school, of course, when I started doing my own hair, I did everything in my power to make it as straight as humanly possible, right? Including literally ironing it with an ironing board and a clothes iron. Everything to make it straight. And then one day, and that was like my whole middle school, young adult life, just trying to make my hair something that it wasn't. And then when I was in my mid 20s, when Sex and the City came out, and Sarah Jessica Parker was wearing her hair curly all the time in the show, it inspired me a little bit, and I wanted to figure it out. And so I went to the best salon in my area, the most highest end, most sought after salon, requested the most sought after hairdresser in the salon. And at my consultation appointment, she said, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "Well, I want to learn how to wear my hair curly, once and for all. I want to stop damaging it, and I want to figure it all out." I said, "But I want to wear it curly, and I want it to look sophisticated." Right. And she looked me dead in the eye and said words to me that I will literally never forget my whole life. She said, "You will never be sophisticated with curly hair." And I just died. A little bit of me died inside, because who says that to another person first? Yeah. And secondly, it just crumbled my self-esteem. And that just set me on the next 20 years of my life, doing every single thing possible to really, in the end, just destroy my hair. I was living a straight hair lie. So it was constant chemical and heat damage, and it was awful. It was just awful. And then I became a mom. And when my daughter was about 10 years old, and both of my daughters have curly hair. One has very loose hair texture, more of a wavy curl. And my daughter Lexi has a very tight curl pattern like me. Okay. And so, her whole life was different than mine. We celebrated her curls. We loved her curls. Everywhere she went, she got compliments. But still, even though she had a different experience than I did, still at 10 years old, she came to me and said, "I hate my hair." Oh, bless her. And it just broke my heart. And it kind of smacked me right between the eyes, my whole life of not loving my own hair. It just hit me. because you always do for your children what you won't do for yourself.
Exactly, yeah.
And in an instant, I knew that if I was going to teach my daughter how to love her hair, I had to learn how to love mine. And
exactly.
We just, at that moment, we went on this curly hair journey, and we began, and we jumped in full steam ahead. I cold turkey stopped chemically straightening my hair, stopped blowing it straight, and just immediately went curly. And to be honest with you, it was really emotional. It was really emotional because, curly hair, and it's changing, thank God, but curly hair in the media and the images that we see is not the standard of beauty. Straight flowing hair is. And, it was really, really emotional. And to be honest with you, kind of the book was like my emotional kind of journaling of my own hair journey and that of my daughters. And kind of out of it came this really adorable, really empowering book series. And that's kind of how it all happened.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that's a really, really interesting story. So it's nice how, like, as you said, it started from when obviously you were young, when you was a little girl, and then obviously it kind of sort of carried on, the emotion itself, like how you felt, your feelings, how you felt, carried on through your daughter, and it's sort of like changing that mindset, I suppose, of, your hair is beautiful, beauty isn't defined by your hair. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So
it's so true. It's so true. And, I entitled the book Blair's Unruly Hair because it for us, we were on that journey because we were desperately looking for help. Our hair, mine, my daughter's, I mean, the directions that this hair can go in with a mind of its own, and we were really searching for help, just really, really searching for help. And the online natural hair community was a lifesaver. It really was, because the tips and tricks and techniques and products and application, processes, it all helped us and really kept us going. And the natural hair community is amazing. They're just cheerleaders for you when you're transitioning from chemical damage to your natural hair. And it was just incredible. And, that kept us on track. And that's what's so inspiring about the children's book. And that's what, I wanted to touch on. Yes, your hair can be unruly and unmanageable, but the character in the story, Blair, she, kind of goes through the process of trying to change her hair, but then she takes control of the situation on her own. And that is the message that I want to send to little girls. Like, you have the ability to, care for your hair and realize how absolutely beautiful and unique it is. And I wanted the character to take control of that situation on their own and have her figure it out on her own, which she does. And then in the end, because she's taken the control and she empowers herself, she sees that all along she was always beautiful, exactly the way she was. So that's like the really inspiring part of the story. And, it's amazing the amount of people that have reached out to me, grown women saying, I have a daughter with curly hair. I'm a curly girl myself. I wish I had this story when I was a little girl. It would have helped me so much, So that's so nice to hear, that it really is going to help people. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's really good. That's really good. And your book sounds really, really inspiring. So where can our listeners, our listeners find your book?
We are sold on Amazon right now. And eventually we'll have, so right now it's on Amazon ebook and also paperback. And eventually we'll have a hardcover, but right now it's paperbacks and ebooks on Amazon.
Wow. Okay, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Yeah. Also, tell me a little bit more about the 4 pictures. So the 4 different girls on your book. I did notice that. So I'd like,
This is the most exciting part about this book series, is that, while, the inspiration was myself and my daughter, when I started writing this book, I quickly realized that it was really more than just about us, and as you know, you're a curly girl, not all curly girls look alike, so exactly. I wanted the little girls who read this book to truly see themselves in the story and really connect with the character and really connect with the message and feel celebrated and, loved and empowered and all of that. So I published the book series in 4 versions: brown hair, black hair, red hair, blonde hair, so that any little girl who's reading this book can choose the book that looks just like them. And then they're like really kind of feeling it emotionally and seeing images that look just like them. And I think that is so important.
It is really important. Wow, that's really, really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, that's okay. Also, what makes your book unique from all the others? So obviously where you've had like all the different books come out recently about, curly girl hair, and all different things. So what makes your book stand out from the rest?
I think that the offering it in the 4 different versions definitely makes it different than the other books out there. There isn't one curly hair children's book out there that's doing this. And there are so many, like you said, there are some amazing books out there about curly hair and love and acceptance. And, I think every single person out there who's writing in this category really is striving to do the same thing, just really empower little girls. And, my story, like I said earlier, the main character kind of sees her situation and just takes control of it and finds a solution, for herself. And I think that's really inspiring, and that kind of sets it apart from the other books that are out there. But it's such a great, community of people trying to really help little girls. And I love that. I love being a part of that.
Brilliant. Lovely. I love that. Right. So before we go, I really would like for you to read us just a little bit in like a few pages of your book.
Sure. I would love it.
About what to expect.
Sure. I would love it. All right. Brilliant. Let's start at the beginning. So here's the beginning of the book. Blair had different hair. It was big, unruly, curly hair that most of the time stood straight in the air. She looked in the mirror and started to think, why does it stick out? I wish it would shrink. Your curls are amazing, her mother would say. I love how they go in every which way. But all of her friends had such smooth, flowing locks, and none of their hair was all tangled in knots. So she made a decision and went to the store. Claire's big curly hair would be curly no more.
Wow, it's brilliant. I actually don't want you to stop.
So yeah, it's a super, super sweet story.
It's amazing. Wow.
Thank you. It's told in rhyme, which is so fun for kids.
Of course.
And, so that's the beginning where she's kind of struggling, and then she unexpectedly stumbles across something that makes her change everything she ever thought about her hair. And then she comes to love her hair and realize again that she was always perfect. Perfect all along. So that's the story, and I hope everybody's gonna love it. And I forgot to mention, if you have Kindle Unlimited, it is free to download.
Wow, okay. I'm sure listeners would love that.
Yeah.
Wow, well, thank you so much, and I wish you all the best in your journey as an author, because you are doing such an amazing job.
Thank you, Angel. I really appreciate your support, and thank you so much for having me today.
That's okay, anytime. And I look forward to working with you in the future, hopefully.
Me too. Thanks so much.
All right, then. Well, take care, my darling.
Take care.
All right, then. Bye.
Bye. Angel, I just want to tell you, Angel was my father's middle name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that funny? I know.
Wow, okay.
So we're connected in some way.
We are. Wow.
Well, thank you again so much. That was so lovely. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Can't wait to hear it